Okay guys, a little bit of a issue going on here with the Goldwing. Hold on a second. Listen closely. I don't know what it sounds like, what it will sound like to you on the video, but it almost sounds like leather creaking. I can only assume that it's probably a wheel bearing going bad. But anyway, you saw our last video going down the highway at 90 miles an hour. That's how I like to travel, so I'm gonna have to take a good look at this real quick here. Definitely need to get this sorted out. Need to get some new boots for these shocks, or maybe some different shocks altogether. Here we are though. Very strange sound there. Can only imagine it's the bearing or something to do with the bearing, but I'd be damned if it don't sound like leather creaking or something like that. It doesn't sound like metal. Let's see what it is. hear that? So that's all it was. The weight of the wheel sitting on the axle and rolling around, making that noise. They feel very tight, so I think they're fine. There's probably a little bit of wear, but I don't think I got anything to worry about, which kind of sucks after tearing this whole thing apart and find nothing wrong. But I sure rather tear the whole thing apart, find nothing wrong, and be sure than to not tear it apart and there be something wrong, or to tear it apart and there's something wrong. So I needed to do a little, or pay a little attention to this anyway, clean this up. You guys saw the other side. I've been wanting to clean that up. It's horrific. With my standards, it is. A little bit of road grime there I've been neglecting. So anyway, I wanted to get that cleaned up and also come up here, do a little bit of grease and lube on that shaft and everything. So it's not a total loss. I'm glad that I found nothing. It doesn't take long to get this apart, although it looks way worse than it is. So anyway, I'm going to, little attention, little cleanup, get all this back together, and looks like we're good for quite a while yet. I'm going to be tearing it apart over the winter, I hope, anyway, and we'll readdress it then. But I got a lot of riding I want to do this fall, so let's get it back together. And yeah, I'm glad. I mean, if it was a bearing, I'd just pop it out and replace the bearing. No big deal either way. But now at least I can get it back together and it's not sitting here in the shop all torn apart waiting on bearings. Yeah, I was just getting ready to clean this up. Some of you sharp-eyed people already spotted this. I just realized that my vent cap is missing, and that's why that thing is so dirty. So let me see. I've got a Nighthawk parts bike that has a shaft drive, so maybe I can steal one off there temporarily. Let me check into that. But I'm gonna have to order one. I was checking to see if I could take one off another bike, but you pretty much destroy them trying to get them off of there. So I'll go ahead and do everything, put it back together, order that, and then when I get it, I'll just pop off this side bag and stick that thing on there. But All right, while we're in here, we might as well just clean up everything. Pipe's all dingy, a little bit of surface rust on it back there. Then I got a bunch of these bars that I usually can't get to. See how rusty that's getting? I'm gonna get all that off of there, clean that up. Go in here, clean up all this dust that's built up here. I just usually can't get into it. Clean up the shock here a little bit. Just do some swing arm. You know, just get it a little bit better. The bike's gonna get torn down and all this stuff will get done when I paint it and everything. And then I'll redo the boots and all. I'll just clean it while I'm here so I'm not putting it together dirty. And it will hold me off so I can ride this fall. And then maybe this winter we'll get it all torn apart and repaint it and everything. All right, not perfect by any means, but definitely cleaned up. What do you think? Looking much better. All right, let's get this thing back together. All right, got the tire back on, the brake and all that stuff. Not perfect, but looks a lot better, doesn't it? Of course, that boot's hideous, but like I said, I'll replace that this winter when I strip it apart. But at least I know all that stuff's cleaned and protected under there. It looks a lot better. I feel better. Time to put all the saddlebags and plastics and everything back on. Folks, everything's just in reverse of what you saw earlier. So, that's about it. All right. Got it all back together here, finally. Now I'm going to have to clean the whole bike up to match it. But now I'm glad I got that taken care of. It wasn't anything. After I saw what it was, I was like, oh yeah, I'm used to those bushings being inside of sprockets, you know, the hub on sprocket bikes. I wasn't even thinking about that on the back wheel, but, you know, they probably eventually will have to be replaced. But for now, at least I know I can keep on riding through the fall. Everything's fine. And yeah, that's it. We'll get her torn apart this winter and get a bunch of stuff replaced. But for now, we want to get back to riding. Thanks for watching.